Legitimate investigation or a crude witch hunt? Either way, the administration and the Republican-controlled House are locked in a battle over executive privilege after a congressional committee voted Wednesday to charge Attorney General Eric Holder with contempt. Today, Speaker John Boehner promised quick action next week.
The House will vote next week on a contempt resolution unless these documents that we're looking for are in fact turned over. But this is about getting to the truth for the American people and the Terry family. It's not about personalities here.
Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee is a Democrat from Texas and joins us. Good afternoon to you.
Martin, good afternoon to you as well. And this is a sad
can I ask you, can you explain to our viewers, ma'am, why Speaker Boehner is so lethargic when it comes to addressing the issue of student loan rates or the desperately needed transportation bill, but wants to act with such haste when it comes to holding the Attorney General in contempt?
It is absolutely baffling, Martin, and as you well know, 10 days before our students who are the productive persons of the next decades, students who are working hard will have their rates, their loan rates doubled. In this instance, I'm saddened to hear my speaker indicate that we'll have a contempt vote in the next couple of days. Even when there was an attempt to hold Janet Reno in contempt by the same committee under another chairperson, then Speaker Gingrich would not bring it to the floor with common sense. What saddens me is that a family has lost a loved one, Mr. Terry, and I believe that we should be focused like eagle eyes on getting the truth. Do you realize that this committee would not call Ken Melson, the former head of the ATF, who indicated privately that no senior official in the Department of Justice was ever told about this because he didn't know about it. Many people don't know this originated out of the Phoenix office. And if you know the structure of government, there are heads of offices, regional offices, that do have their own programs, and they might have intended it to go well, but it did not. This is a foolish episode because many people don't know that the general offered everything that Chairman Issa wanted, the private documents or the documents that he could and could not, to list the documents that Senator Grassley wanted of those he could not provide, a briefing, a private briefing, and a continuing dialogue to answer questions that he had not been able to answer before, because it is an ongoing criminal investigation, and we want to solve this in the name of the family that has sadly lost a loved one.
Indeed.
The general should not resign at all, and frankly, Martin, if I might say this, it is very uncomfortable for me to say, is there something about General Holder's difference that causes him to be in the eye of the storm of this committee over and over and over again when he has been a leader on getting to the hard issues in this country, including voter ID laws that are oppressive to many voters.
Yeah, well, it's quite remarkable that you and I should be talking about a speaker whose reputation is likely to be worse than Newt Gingrich's. While Republicans were all over town talking about charging the Attorney General with contempt, the President today welcomed a group of students, as you know, to the White House to remind Congress that if they don't act in the next 10 days, these kids and millions like them, my children, will face another $1,000 in debt just this year. Take a listen to this.
If this warning sounds familiar, we've been talking about this for months. Congress has had the time to fix this for months. That's part of the reason why everybody here looks impatient.
Can I ask you this? If Republicans do allow rates to double from 3.84 to 6.8, do you think that will actually help the president?
Well, you know, I know that the president's heart and mind and intent is to help the students. But I think there's a long litany, Martin, of, if you will, inactivity and lack of work. The Congress has not passed the president's jobs bill. They're still supporting 1% of the nation as the guiding force so that they can keep the Bush tax cuts. They are attacking the Affordable Care Bill. And when they offered a bill on the floor, the House Republicans, to provide relief to students, desperate relief, they played politics. They eliminated the preventative health care provision and the funding that has really begun to save lives. When you can now not have a deductible and have a copay, if you will, or support for you to do preventative care. What does that do? Keep people out of ambulances, emergency rooms, and hospital beds. But this is what we are seeing in Washington, unfortunately. And I would say this, in the spirit of collegiality, that I know there are many on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats, would like us to take off the burden and the shackles of politicizing everything and get to work. Why do we not have firefighters, teachers, and police officers? We haven't passed the job bill. Why do we not have a bill going forward to put thousands, millions of Americans to work? The infrastructure, transportation bill, politics. Why are we holding hostage our students who we asked to go to school? I just held a meeting about 60 days ago and committed to the college students there who, Martin, had horrible stories about the enormous debt that they had.
Indeed.
And they needed this rate, and they were begging us to act. So my point is, Mr. Speaker, you represent all of us. I know that you have a good heart. Don't bring the contempt charge. Let's move forward on real work that will help real Americans, these students who are simply trying to invest in America by their education. Let's do the right thing. Let's not make history and be the only Congress that has voted to, in essence, call first of all, by the chairman of the committee, call the General Holder a liar,
yes,
which is so outrageous.
Indeed.
But then to have the Speaker, who I know has many good intentions, to hold this vote, that would be an extreme action, and I beg of our Congress not to do that.
Congresswoman, that's a very hearty and heartfelt appeal. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, thank you very much.